Welcome back to Disco, guys. So last time we had a bit of a shave. We're looking a little bit more respectable, although I imagine something's going to happen where it appears that we're less disco now, without the old mutton chops. But we've still got the big sunglasses on. But one of you told me that I won't get the interactions with the horrific necktie if I don't have it equipped. So we are going to put him back on. Means we lose our want of volition, unfortunately, but that was quite loud, wasn't it? But our volition's decent anyway. Yeah, we've got some thoughts that are nearly complete. I'm hoping that this might be maybe empathy. I'm trying to think what else it would be to do with self-critique. Maybe half-light, because it's fight or flight. Maybe rhetoric, who knows. But we found a bullet, so it means that Ruby might have stayed here. And one of you also told me that I should have the chain cutters or the pry bar equipped for those little locks things that we've seen knocking around. So let's see if Kimmy mentions our beautiful smooth face. Smoother than my head, I imagine. Hey, Kimmy.
Yes?
So I had a shave.
Yes. I don't know what to say. Perhaps...
The lieutenant stares at your shaven face, his eyes narrowed. I know. Stunning, right?
I'm really not sure about this turn of events. I may have preferred the mutton chops. This sort of seemed to cover up the...
He stops.
Either way, good on you. You were saying?
Never mind. Right, so we need to talk to the woman. We've got the bird to give back to Gart. We still haven't found these bullet traces. Land's End, the boardwalk. Check Island. I mean, can we get here? Will this unlock at some point? Does look like we should be able to get there. Maybe Joyce will take us there in the boat. Yeah, there was a boat nearby, wasn't there? Did I ever figure out whose boat that was? Was it here? No, it was over near the... Yeah, I never checked that, did I? God, got such a short fish memory. I'm just going to go and see if I can remember where any of these little white boxes were. So that we can pry them open. There was a boat here, no? I'm turning French, I'm saying no at the end of my sentences. Oh no. Yeah, it was over here. The boat was over here, right? Yeah. Is it at the end of the pier then? Must be at the end of the pier, right. Before we do that, let's just try and find one of these boxes. Because the only one I can remember is back this way. Yeah! See, it's blue now. Postcard, Curon. Can't believe I didn't put two and two together. This one has hell written on its back. It couldn't be further from the truth. It's the boom years. And Curon, the nicest district in Revachol West, is enjoying a sun-drenched day. Tall and handsome buildings rise from the riverside, steel, iron and yellow limestone, with cloud shadows sliding on the facades. Right, what else could we have opened? There's always money here. Who's leaving money in this? There was something near the dude and his son, right? Yeah, look at all the stuff we can get into. Fed. Yeah? No, not Kimmy. Oh no, I've glitched out the game. What did I do? Did I miss a thought then? I've never noticed this. What is this? Like a... There's a slit in the concrete here, a sewer. I don't know when we need to check these things again. I just want to see if we can... Is it here that we'd be able to cross? No, it'd just be a bit further north. Sorry, I know I'm wandering around a bit early in an episode. This has probably resulted in everyone clicking off the video. Never mind. I'm trying to think what else we could get into with the crowbar. The pry bar, sorry. Well, let's see whose boat that was. If we can even get close to it. And then we'll talk to the old woman to try and get the information about Ruby from her. Yeah, is it Joyce? Is that you, Joyce?
I'll just keep the Cordelacci in the channel, if that's okay. It's too shallow near the pier.
She winds the mooring line around a post.
Aye, ma'am. And it's a jetty, by the way. Of course. Jetty. I prefer a good jetty to a pier any day. Jetty.
Hey there, Joyce.
Hello, detectives.
She fastens the end of the line around the post and straightens her back.
It's good to see you here. I only just arrived myself.
Yes.
What brings you here, madame?
Nothing, really. I've had my eye on this jetty for weeks now, so I decided to investigate it personally. This cluster of buildings isn't on any of the official maps, as far as I can tell.
That. And she's also keeping an eye on you.
You spying on us?
Spying has such a negative connotation. I did track your progress along the coast, however, and decided I would be better able to assist you from here. Then there's the matter of that little scamp in old lady clothes. She threatened to paint the Cordelacci red. Like blood, you see. Well, I like it the way it is. White.
So do you like it round here? Remind you of your youth?
How do I like it?
She casts her gaze towards the village, slush melting on the cinder blocks, construction work left half finished 10 years ago.
Water drips down eaves of Eternite. The jetty below her feet creaks to the tune. The smell of salt and dog shit in the background.
It's pornographically poor. The street has no name. All the men are dead or missing. And is that the carcass of a motor carriage over there? I'm surprised that woman hasn't put me to the sword yet. Maybe she will. You should ask your questions while you can.
Don't know how that motor carriage got there, Joyce.
Dark eyes survey the coast leading up to Martinez. Dull grey metal rests in her scabbard. A sword. The wind is too loud for her to hear.
Fortunately for you, madame, the RCM is on the scene.
You're right to be scared. This is all your fault. You're in no danger. The working class have no idea what's happening to them. Try not to be scared. This is just how the real city looks. This place is doomed either way. I know that this is a communist response, but I kind of feel like this is warranted, but at the same time we don't want to annoy her. This is kind of what I want to say though. Like her, it's just a bit, it's so garish, right? Her sailing in here on this, in this boat, it just seems really insensitive. This is all your fault.
Maybe.
She leans against the railing, looking up at the grey sky.
It's early spring, and the rains are coming. An officer enters a low hut of stone and wood. Inside, weapons are piled against the walls. Rifles with splintering stocks, and swords, tens, if not hundreds.
I think we look great, clean-shaven guys. Can't go wrong with clean-shaved, slick-back hair, right? I can't pull that off anymore.
They're antiques, says Lieutenant John, the archetype McCoy, to his partner. They're digging them up from the catacombs now, fixing them. Old caches from the revolution.
It kind of mirrors what we've been going through a little bit, right?
The children carry them up. Come May, the streets will be flooded. Outside, the wind rattles the loose hatches, flooded with cheap weapons in angry hands.
War profiteering in a way, I guess.
Have I told you how they discovered this place?
The wind picks up, her raincoat flaps in the gust. The Isla?
Yes, in Cielinde.
Don't think so.
Well, your condition has left you no worse off than most of these people. The literacy rate is around 45% west of the river. 50
Wow.
years of occupation have left these people in an oblivion of poverty.
I don't like either of these responses. Oblivion, that's so me. 45% is around where I operate. Things are getting better though. Say nothing.
It's a pity. Most of these people will never know what this place means, this island of matter, or why they were ferried over in the first place.
We'll do something about it then, Joyce, instead of just giving like your privileged pleas of sympathy.
Remind me to tell you one day. For now, how can I assist you in this new location?
Now we've got time. You can tell me now.
Do we?
He glances at his watch. It doesn't look like he does.
I hear you have singled out a suspect and are in pursuit. This is cause for cautious optimism. I would not want to delay you.
I meant to say before, I guess one of the big questions we've got left is who is the third Crenel operative? So, because we did get told it could have been someone observing from on high, so the chances are that the third Crenel operative is someone we've already met, unless it is actually Measurehead, but I think he's working for the Union, so I don't think it would be. So, the Crenel operative could be Clashy, could be the Crenel operative, right? It could be the girl throwing paint. I've forgotten her name now. The Skull, Cindy the Skull. It could be her, but we've heard her mentioned by the locals, so it's not likely that she's come here recently. Like the only kind of foreigner who's come here recently is Clashy, right? So she could quite easily be the third Crenel, which would explain her relationship with Lely, right? They could have, yeah, just she could be the third Crenel operative.
This story, she will tell it only before she leaves Martinez, at the very end of her stay.
Maybe there is something else I can assist you with while you're hot in pursuit.
No, that's it. Alright, so it was Joyce. Let's go talk to the washerwoman to see if she can tell us whereabouts.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. What can I help you with?
Why was there a bullet under the floorboards in your shack?
Damn that girl.
She murmurs softly.
And without anger, a long and harsh life has taught her not to buckle under pressure.
A bullet?
The lieutenant turns to you and gives you a little nod, then turns to the washerwoman.
You didn't put it there, did you? She did.
Gone and hid things in there? She's usually a good tenant, and not a stupid one either.
She shakes her head. You rented the room to her?
Yes, I let my room to that Ruby girl.
She speaks slowly, wringing out a rag. After a long silence, her hands move into the water bucket. Some water sloshes over the edge.
As I've done before when she's been in trouble or just looking for solitude. I've made it clear. We welcome all kinds of people here.
When was this?
She came last Friday, Left on Monday in a hurry. What has she gotten herself into? That girl.
She seems genuinely worried about her previous tenant. She's seen her hiding out from trouble before. But this seems different.
I mean, we have to keep in mind that we have to try and not see Ruby as the villain too much, right? Because the only negative account of Ruby that we've had is from Clashy, who could very well be spinning all this to save her own skin. We've had very positive accounts of Ruby from Tommy, from this old lady here, and the Hardy Boys obviously trust her, or they trusted her before all this. They're not the brightest bunch, so the fact that they turned on her is more down to the story that we've spun for them and less to do with their actual dealings with her. So there's no reason to suspect Ruby, out besides what Clashy has said, there's no reason to suspect Ruby is a shady character, if that makes sense. I know that she's dealing in the drug trade and everything, but everything here is a shade of grey anyway.
That's for the police to find out. Right then, please answer each question to the best of your ability. I'm sure we have a few.
You said she left on Monday.
Yes, early with the dogs, around 8 o'clock, I think.
Is the room exactly as she left it?
I cleaned it, like I always do.
Is there anything else in there?
No,
The truth, sire.
What's Ruby like?
she's good company. Knows how to talk to an old woman. At my age, you don't get a lot of quality conversation. So I really appreciate that about her.
I mean, yeah, Tommy. What did Tommy say about her? It was quite such a long time ago now, but he said that she's just a bit mixed up, but she's got like a good heart, a good soul, and that you wouldn't turn her in.
This Ruby is an old lady whisperer. She knows how to work the village elder, unlike you.
Well, maybe with your help, I will.
Did she talk to you much during her last stay?
No, she was mostly silent this time. Kept to herself.
Something was bothering her. What do you mean?
She tried not to let it show, but I could tell she hadn't come to fish. Usually she likes to cast a few lines, but this time she mostly stayed in her room.
She wanted to talk to her, as they usually do, but she was brooding.
Why do you think she left the bullet in there? Maybe it's a breadcrumb. Maybe, like we said, as a bullet for herself, if it came to that. I'm not sure.
How would I know? She's a gruff one, but not violent. She doesn't go around toting a gun.
She looks back towards her shack, thinking.
You could ask her about your hunch, that it was a desperate measure. See if she thinks Ruby fits the bill.
I mean, Tommy did say that she was a bit, bothered mentally, I guess.
Aye. Do tell.
I have a possible explanation in mind. A seagull flies overhead, obviously a bad omen. An exit plan.
Exit from what?
The world.
The lieutenant stops writing for a moment. He looks at you, then at the old woman.
No, she's a fighter.
She tilts her head to the side, looking up at you, deep in thought. Okay, that's good to know.
She really believes that.
Yeah. I heard she was a heavy drinker with anger issues. You ever witnessed that kind of behaviour?
Nothing of the sort. Sure, she was no stranger to the bottle. She fit in that way. But I only knew her to have a beer on the beach while watching the sunset.
Right, got you.
The sun sets for everyone.
That it does.
She isn't what you'd call a drunk. Even offered me some from time to time. Said it was part of the communal life. But I never saw her lose control of herself the way some people do.
Did she have any technical equipment with her, like radio stuff?
Not that I know of, though she was into nice music. She once showed me a few mixtape milieux she'd made.
She brushes her forehead with the back of her hand. Water drips to the ground.
Although I guess she was pretty handy with the mechanical and technical stuff. Even fixed the heater in the shack. You should be thankful for that.
Thank you.
She may simply have kept the equipment elsewhere.
Do you know where she went?
I don't know. Further up the coast. She tried to leave quietly, but the hinges on that door screeched like a cat in heat. Woke me up. I heard her rushing in those heavy boots, heading up north.
It's a peninsula. She might be trapped.
You'll never find her, you know. She knows the coast like the back of her hand. You only just arrived.
Her tone is without malice.
I wouldn't worry about that, man. We are persistent.
Further up the coast we go then. But that place is huge. She's a needle in a haystack. Wipe your brow, man. I was really hoping she'd be hiding in this village. Further up the coast then.
Are you sure you'd rather stay here? Get a nice cozy fire going in the heater? Seems like a better idea to me.
She drops the rag into the bucket. It's clean now.
The felled electric mural. You feel like you should go look at it again. Step closer this time.
What's further down the coast?
Not much. There's the abandoned church, the DeLorean Church of Humanity. It's been there since before my time, even.
Yeah, we've checked it out. Why is it abandoned?
Some things just don't fly, officer. Look around. Who'd go to church here? They built it 300 years ago. Must have been nicer then.
So, they don't hold services there anymore? The Ecclesiastes?
No, we've tried, but things just keep happening. Crime, accidents, other things. The place never stays open. It's a pity. It used to be such a nice church.
She's not telling you all she knows. Keep her talking.
I get the feeling you're leaving stuff out. What else is going on?
Well, there's that music. Music from across the sea. Huh. It started a few days ago, and now it's blasting, even through the night.
Don't mention it, okay? It's a quest that I've ended prematurely.
And now, suspicious-looking people are sneaking around the church. I don't like that.
Those would be the dance music enthusiasts in their tent.
What else is down the coast?
Before you get to the church, there's some ruins, an apartment complex, or some kind of electrical plant. Run-down bunch of houses, empty.
Which is it then? Apartments? Which is it then? Apartments or electrical plant?
I don't know exactly. A pre-war place. It used to be something. Before the war. I wasn't here then, you know. Was born in Samara.
Anything else of note?
Of note? The old fish market up on the boardwalk. But it's closed.
There's got to be more than that.
What? You're one of those real estate people with big plans? If you want a development opportunity, you can check out the abandoned building over at Land's End.
I'm still really annoyed I didn't ask them about the signatures.
Used to be a supply depot, we think, sending goods and ammo across the bay. It's jammed shut though. We tried to get in, see if there was anything to sell or scavenge, but it's impossible.
Nothing is impossible, surely.
And now you know everything there is to know about this coast.
She drops a bar of soap into the bucket with a splash. Ruby?
What more do you want to know? Yes,
Nothing.
one thing, officer.
Oh, okay.
If you do find her, please go easy on her.
I'll keep it in mind. I genuinely will. She looks around. The air's getting colder. I'm more suspicious of Clashy's story, but
She really means it.
yeah.
It's an honest plea.
She's a good girl. Whatever she's gotten herself mixed up in.
And here's our new thought.
Rigorous self-critique. Here it is. Hard facts from the man you are. You once jerked off in the locker room and were caught. You held a young woman by the arm and kept her in your apartment for 20 minutes against her will. That's right. These are not flights of fancy. These are real deeds, Harry, emerging from the darkness of your past. You tried shooting a fleeing suspect in the foot, but hit him in the pelvis, crippling him for life. And, above all, You let life defeat you. All the gifts your parents gave you, all the love and patience of your friends, you drowned in a neurotoxin. You let misery win, and it will keep on winning till you die, or overcome it.
Intelligence and psych red check failures heal +1 morale. Physical and motorics red check failures heal +1 health. Learning cap for pain threshold raised up to 6. I don't know, this feels a bit useless. That's a shame. I really thought that was going to be empathy. Ruby left the village and went up the coast to explore the coast for signs. Right. Right. I mean, yeah, no one's really said a bad word about Ruby besides Clashy. He's probably trying to save her own skin at this point. It's difficult to know who to trust.
The scruffy-haired little boy.
Oh, never mind. That's not what I meant. Okay, maybe those bullet traces will show up now. I don't know. But before we do that, I just remembered about the ledger. We've got one more case.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of papers hanging from the board.
Read a case file.
Drawer inside. It takes about half an hour to piece one together.
Yeah.
Using the system you've devised. Which one do you want?
This was the last one. I just thought we might as well read this. Murder at the hookah parlor.
Murder. Tum 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 at the hookah parlor was a case originally assigned to an officer called Joseph Mills, who is now dead. Of circumstances completely unconnected to murder at the hookah parlor.
How did he die then?
Beaten to death by a throng of Villalobos gang members when him and his partner J.M., only initials mentioned, answered a call one night. It's a sad story, and it isn't really represented in your case files. Stop stalling and get to the murder at the hookah parlor.
Alright, get on with it.
Joseph Mills was on this case that he just couldn't solve. Was doing it solo. Said it was a real nutcracker, a real brain twister. Was on it for, like, a month. The captain got impatient. Shit or get off the pot, Mills. Mills didn't get off the pot. Not yet. He kept at it for a couple of weeks more, racking his brains, running with every theory, as outlandish as they seemed. Still couldn't solve the murder at the hookah parlor. Tough case, he said. Toughest he's ever had.
What kind of copper was he?
No, he was awful. Awful sense of humor, too. The worst jokes you've ever heard. Really rapey. Still, he'd been on it for months now. Said it was the final case. Said it was uncrackable. That murderer vanished into thin air. That goddamn hookah parlor was all he talked about.
Kind of typical in a lot of detective fiction, right? About a detective who becomes obsessed with one case that's kind of unsolvable. Go on.
Okay, so the case is handed to you because Mills isn't getting anywhere, and you look into it. Here's the setup. A young man is found dead in a hookah parlor. You know, those places where you go and smoke bubblegum-flavored vapor all day.
Do you even get high off it?
No, it's soot and water vapor. It doesn't do anything.
It's a bit stupid.
Yeah. So anyway, young man in his 20s found with his skull busted open, right on the floor of the hookah parlor, in the middle of the day. No one else is in there. Only client that day. In perfect health, too. Some kind of movie producer. No one enters. No one exits. He's just sucking on his watermelon hookah all morning, all noon, like he usually does. He's a regular. No calls, nothing. Just sucking on the hookah until 15:45. Then bam, he's dead on the floor with his skull busted open, blood everywhere. What happened? How can it be?
I'm guessing this means like a shisha parlor. And I just said that it's stupid, but I have been to a shisha parlor before.
Mills has no idea. Invisible assassin. Movie deal gone sour. Girl at the counter did it. Nothing fits. Eerie. Man just dropped dead. So you go to the parlor. You see cushions around the table. Tables low, heavy, really sharp edge.
So maybe he sucked on hookah, stood up, passed out, hit his head on the table and died.
See? You can't even read the thing without solving it. Yeah, it was that. Turns out hookah does do something. It turns off your brain's oxygen supply, and you don't notice it until you get up to go to the bathroom.
And what was he doing there for 6 hours?
Smoking hookah. Didn't you hear? I don't know. Trying to come up with a movie script, maybe. Anyway, that was Murder at the Hookah Parlor. Joseph Mills wasn't a good detective, and about 30 minutes has passed piecing it together. Next.
Alright, that's all of them.
Not much has changed in the meanwhile. A bunch of sodden papers still sags from the clipboard.
We can open the hidden drawer again.
Without resistance or sound, the two panels move against each other. The compartment is now open. Inside, you see 2 ticket stubs and a handmade postcard.
Fucking kill yourself, you arsehole. Let's just say it.
The words just crossed your mind somehow.
Who are they for?
Who do you think?
More for us.
It's slightly.
Okay. Alright then. What should we do next? We should probably post this forged signature envelope that's going to annoy Everard. Still haven't found the murder weapon, which could be in that ice cream maker. Which... It's, was it a physical instrument check? A heroic check is like 16? Right? So the gun could be in there. If we found another gun there, the original gun could be in there as well. What did we have a check with the dice maker for? The warded door. Oh, we have the key for it, so we don't even need to do it, right? So I'm guessing Ruby is here on this kind of creepy looking island, right? Not island, creepy looking cave, dilapidated building kind of looking bit on the map. Because we've been here to the little lighthouse. So maybe when the tide goes down, we can skip across the rocks. Let's check that out then, briefly then. Oh, when do we need to do the... I thought we might need to do the Phasmid stuff. Yeah, it's this way, right? It's this thing here. This is a red check, right?
An old door, worn by elements, guards the depot. The wind has blown a sand dune in front of it.
That's a shame. Maybe we can find a different way in.
Is there something here that would indicate a sniper used this place as a nest for taking the shot?
Come on now.
Just some urban detritus, a bottle, and a dilapidated old comms tower.
I don't see it, Lieutenant W. Freitor. I don't see a person take a shot here and hit something there. In the whirling in rugs.
He looks east over the coast. Maybe the campfire was used by the perpetrator. Maybe the assailant climbed the comms tower and took the shot there. What about the cigarette butts? Maybe they climbed the comms tower?
It's not possible to climb that ladder. And even if it were, why? There's no platform up there to aim from.
Fair enough. The lieutenant looks up, raising his collar.
It does look extremely rickety, and wouldn't help much either.
Maybe they used the campfire?
To warm his hands before pulling the trigger? Perhaps. But anyone could have made this. The coast is specked with fires this time of year.
He looks around.
Truthfully, this seems like a very poor choice to take a 1.2 kilometer rifle shot from. Visibility is awful. There's water vapor everywhere. I think we can rule out... Biddable Prime, was it?
What about the cigarette butts?
Those? A smoking assailant who favors Tumutiri to Astra or Joanne? Cigarette butts are everywhere. This is a common brand for all men.
Still, you felt it was important enough to make a mental note. That means something. You didn't pay attention to any of the other cigarette butts on the coast.
Fair enough. Look over the water.
There, 1.2 kilometers over the cold water of the bay, blue from the distance and the air, you see the smallest rectangle, barely visible. A glowing light on the third floor of the Whirling in Rags. With binoculars, you would see a young woman's shape move behind the glass, her limbs long and slender.
Okay. That's one down. So maybe we'll get these thoughts at a certain time of day. Alright, skill point. I'm just gonna spend it. I know we've got 3 thought slots. And we've got a lot of thoughts we could be exploring, but I feel like I've fallen behind a little bit with my character build. I'm actually going to stick it into suggestion. I'd like empathy and suggestion to kind of run side by side, to be honest. This relay tower coordinates boat traffic in the bay, barely. Yeah, I feel like we'll be able to cross here at some point. Okay, so the other locations for the bullet traces were the boardwalk and Check Island? Check Island? What is that? So we'll just go back up to the boardwalk where we found Billy's husband. Was it Frank? It wasn't Frank, was it? Well, we should be investing points into interfacing to get in there, I suppose. But... So we're just going to get a thought bubble to prompt these location thoughts. Maybe we just have to be in the exact right spot. Oh, whoa. It's a long way down to your death from here. 20 meters at least.
There's some tear.
No. It's not relevant anymore. See if we get an... There was a... Oh. How do we get there? Oh, we got told to come back to look at this again, right? Oh, we've got cutters. Maybe we can get through here.
You see a once bright mural towering above you. The signage has peeled off over the years, but you can still make out Feld Electrical R&D.
If they were going to take a shot, it'd be from this rooftop, so we should be able to explore that.
A slogan used to intertwine with the loops a long time ago. Now, only a shadow of peeled letters remains. It says, "Tomorrow is just a whisper away."
Let's step closer.
Above the mural, a collapsed roof, broken windows set in walls that are cracking and will soon also fall, and the coastal breeze rustling and sighing in the remains of the edifice. There's something in the wind. Sometimes the only way to go forward is to fail first.
Could Ruby be hiding in there?
In there? She could. Or she could be in the identical room over there. Or in that boat shack. In that church tower, maybe.
Why single out this one building?
We do have some boosts for that. Looking for Ruby brought you to a mural that you somehow think is important. Inspect it thoroughly. Right, Shivers is just being ruined by items, right? I mean, it's only at 1 anyway, but what's taking Shivers down? Our jacket. I think we've got some boosts to Shivers as well. Yep. Yeah. Drama. Oh, sorry, Ty. It's only for a moment. Okay, that's bumped Shivers up to a 4.
The once bright mural towers above you, saying, "Felled electrical."
Oh, sorry. The other thing I wanted to do, I wanted to put the bolt cutters, chain cutters on. See if that opens up a check here. Oh, damn it. I could have sworn this was highlighted at some point.
The once bright mural towers above you, saying, "Felled electrical, R&D. Tomorrow is just a whisper away."
42, let's try it.
Even though you're sure you succeeded, all is quiet. There is no cold hand brushing against your forehead, no rustle in the reeds. The wind has died down. The ruin in front of you is silent as a tomb.
What was I even attempting to do here?
Trying to talk to the wind, the city, whatever you thought would happen, did not. And now you're just standing there with your hands fallen to your side. A prayer of sorts to Revachol.
She could be anywhere. How do we find her?
How do we? I was really hoping she'd be in the village. Okay. She's probably north of the village, and this place is a peninsula. We already scanned most of the outdoor areas on our wild cryptid hunt, so we have an understanding of the geography, at least. And then there's the church. We've already searched that and can rule it out. I know it doesn't feel like progress, but exclusion is a step too.
True.
Anyway, we do it the old-fashioned way, sector by sector. Go over the whole peninsula, ask the locals, enter the places where we can enter first, like we did in the village.
That fails if we don't find her.
Then, if we're desperate, we can look where we can't enter. Bunkers, storm drainage, this place. I'm sure it won't come to that.
He looks behind him at the dark red box crumbling across the chasm.
Walk the coast, the old boardwalk, the reeds. You can always come back here and talk to the wind again. Look where it already got you. An adventure awaits. An adventure on the windswept urban coast.
Alright, we'll come back for you then. Let's get our previous setup back on. That was the wrong shirt. Okay. Okay, so Ruby was in the Cinderblock village but left Monday. She could be anywhere on the peninsula north of the village. Look inside the church, ask around. There are people to the west of the mural. Or I don't know. Ask a girl on a date, then ask her. Ask the wind maybe. Return to the felled mural and consult the wind if you don't know what to do. Other than that, keep searching the coast. Okay. I'd like to find those other possible shot locations. So we can get in here again eventually. As we can see there. The other... Why can't I find the boardwalk one? It must be near where the bureaucrat is, right? Yeah, must be. And we haven't got a quest update for the Phasmids. He's still here, unfortunately. A door, a building, a hiding place. Could the instigator be inside? First responsibility, then stability, then prosperity. Then death. Come on, Thought. Help me out. Ugh. Can't go there. Guess that's that. Yeah, I can't find these bullet trace locations, dude. I don't have a Scooby-Doo where they are. We need to go on our date with Lillian if we can pull it off at least. I'm looking forward to that. That should be fun. We've shaved at least. What was this? Can we open this now? Nice. Yeah, so that was the chain cutters, right? I'm just holding tab down in case anything else gets highlighted. Okay. Sorry, I know I'm a bit all over the place. We can consult the wind. Well, I'll give the bird to Gart, see if that mends some fences. Oh, here. Oh, this is it. Find the Phasmid. First, restock the trap you left empty before. The trick is to remember which one it was. Oh, that was. We've just been there. Flipping heck, Matt. We need to post this, which is near the Whirling in Rags, apparently. Let's just refill this trap. Sorry. Much backtracking. Looks beautiful in the snow, though, I have to say. Oh, and we could go and talk to Sona about the responsibility. Right? Yeah, let's do that. Wow, this man's son is freezing to death.
The trap stands empty near the reeds, powdered with snow. No insect sounds or movement around. Only the reeds' apprehensive hissing.
Let's put the locust back in.
The locusts, dazed from being transported, slowly begin to acclimate to their new surroundings. They're not really going to get the chance to get comfortable here.
Good, now that's done. When do you think we will return to our impending apocalypse of a murder investigation? Don't answer that. It was a rhetorical question.
He doesn't want to, but if there is one more cryptozoological runaround, he must force the investigation back on track. This better be it.
Yeah. You've restocked the trap, now report to Lena in the Whirling. Oh. We've got a few things to do at the Whirling anyway. I might actually use fast travel. After we've talked to Sona first. Into the church. I'm going to run in the church this time. Just because. Because I don't believe in any religion. And no. We should be respectful. Never mind, I'm going to run. No respect.
Yes, what is it?
Have you seen anyone suspicious, say a woman named Ruby?
What? No, no one's suspicious around here.
There's a vampire in the roof, in the rafters.
She has not seen her, sire. 'Tis true.
I wasn't kidding earlier about contacting Coalition Warship Archer. Can you help me?
Do I look like someone who has time for side projects at this moment?
She doesn't even look up from her computer.
If you want her help, maybe you should help her first.
Oh, damn it. Have we ruined that quest as well? I think we have. Balls. Damn it, man. See what I mean? That's why you have to say yes to everything. I wish there would have been like an... You know, it would have opened up another quest by sending them away. Something like that. How do I fast travel? What zone, part of the church zone, do we have to be in to fast travel? Fine. Down. Okay then, never mind. We're gonna get another thought here, maybe, for the bullet traces. No. Right, we'll go talk to Gart, we'll go talk to Lena. And we'll mail the thing as well. Which is this mailbox, right?
The dented yellow mailbox greets you with its graffito, bullet holes, and an RCM sticker.
Fine, let's do it.
You drop the white envelope in the darkness. It lands with a soft thud on what sounds like a couple of letters. About a week's worth of mail as collected in there. They'll empty this very soon. Probably did the right thing. You can't trust that slug Everard. You know he's going to play you somehow.
I hope that's what we've done.
All right, let's go back to Everard. If we don't mention anything to him, he won't know before it's too late.
Damn it. I don't mind. He is a bit of a sleaze, right? Right, let's talk to Gart. I imagine that Lillian and the washerwoman, I've forgotten her name, it did say in the quest log about her. Hey Gart, I found a new bird for you. He's not going to like it
Can
though.
I help you?
I've got a new bird for you.
What is this thing?
The man takes the stuffed bird. It's no biggie, I just thought it would look nice on the wall. I'm that kind of cop.
What, the interior decorating kind? You know, I'm sorry. This is actually a nice bird. A competent piece of taxidermy.
He inspects the bird somewhat suspiciously, then mellows.
I can fix it to the plaque and have a new bird in the establishment, I guess. So,
Right.
I don't know. Thank you. I'm gonna go with thank you.
People just don't know how to accept gifts,
It's true.
especially taxidermy. He likes it.
He likes the bird, it solves his broken bird problem.
I feel good about our work here today.
The
It's
lieutenant
all about
nods.
the little things, like bringing people random stuffed animals.
Be quiet, Kimmy. Right. Lena,
Hello, dear.
we've restocked.
Good to see a familiar face.
I've restocked the anti-trap. She sounds upset. Where's Morale?
Thank you for doing that, dear.
She manages a smile for you.
Her smile is weary. Her earlier ebullience has left her.
Morel still isn't feeling well. I convinced him to stay at Gary's to get some rest. I'm afraid the cold has really gotten to him.
And that's our fault for having the thing closed, right? She looks down at her hands. Only the hardcore players left. It's probably for the best. It's awfully cold out there in those reeds.
I'm sorry, dear. You've had to drudge through them so many
Ah,
times.
It's all right.
Such is field work. A young person's game, as they say.
Her voice is shaky. What is going on here?
So who's going to check the traps? We are?
Morel will eventually, or we'll talk Gary into going back out, perhaps.
The lieutenant stares at his shoe, caked in mud. He doesn't say anything.
We'll take care of it.
That really is too
No.
much, sweetie. Thank you for your dedication, but I can see you're coming down with a cough yourself.
Very strange. Why is she not letting me do this? It's like she's given up.
What's wrong, Lena?
Different? How?
The half moons of her glasses reflect you as she looks up at you. You're not telling me the whole story.
I'm not. It's not that.
She doesn't know how to end the sentence. What is it?
It's a strange feeling. I haven't really told this to anyone, but you are a police officer.
Yeah.
And when a police officer asks, you must answer.
Shut up, authority.
Do you ever wonder if some lovely story from your childhood is just that? A story? Or a dream?
Hunching her shoulders now. She seems even smaller than she is. Like a sad young girl.
Seeing the Insulindian phasmid was just a story I used to tell people. I didn't really think about whether it was real or not.
I mean, Morale told me you'd seen it.
Morel's so proud of it. He always tells everyone.
A terrible sting in the heart. Regret.
Are you saying made it up? You seemed to really believe it happened. Doesn't that count for something? So you haven't seen it. I should arrest you for lying. No, let's just placate her, even if she's having doubts. Look at what they've gotten from it. Doing all this research, all the experience they've gained from that, even if it's not real. They've still... You know, that is part of exploration and science, right? Is something not working out? It doesn't mean it was time wasted. You seem to really believe it happened. Doesn't that count for something?
No, sweetie. There's more to it than that. Morel was so eager to believe my story was evidence of the phasmid's existence, that I'm some queen of the cryptozoologists. That, and for years his belief made me believe too.
That I am a queen, an extraordinary witness to grace.
But now, we're both getting old, and he's still working himself sick out in those reeds looking for it. But what if I was just wrong? I think I was.
She shakes her head, still unable to meet your eyes.
The lieutenant opens his notebook, but doesn't write anything.
Red check. Can you imagine if we snake eyes this? The hell with this. I still believe you saw the phasmid. Thing is, you're not sure you made it up either. Okay, it's a false memory. Doesn't mean all cryptids aren't real. Chase another one. You're right about all of it, and I need to get back to my work. Tell her that her marriage hasn't been a lie.
An acorn is not the same as the tree. That requires time, diligence, and care.
And I need something good here. Wrong or not, your relationship with Morel isn't just about the phasmid. I need something good.
All qualities these two seem to share in abundance.
Wrong or not, your relationship with Morel isn't just about the phasmid.
But it is. We've spent years searching for the phasmid, hunting it together. Without it, what are we? Just another pathetic old couple.
No, you're cryptozoologists. Even if you don't find it, that's still what you are. You're not just... It's not just the phasmid.
If I hadn't led him down this path, he could have a steady job lecturing at a university.
Morel hated lecturing. You convinced him to do something real in this world. Normally, when I think about stuff like women and marriage, I feel bad. When I think about you, Morel, I feel okay. That counts for something, no? No, that's selfish. Let's talk about them. Morel didn't... Yeah, he's not a people person. He likes being out in the field.
But if the dream comes to naught, what good is it? No, the thing is,
She looks down at her legs.
I was a paraplegic before we met. He didn't know before I arrived. On our first date. If I weren't the queen of the cryptozoologists, if I didn't tell him that story...
Oh, that's not the only don't put yourself down like that.
She has to swallow to relax her throat. It's keeping her from talking.
He'd still be into you. That's not how these things work. Now I understand why you haven't told him about your doubts. Wow, love is hard. That's not how these things work.
Maybe. But then why do I not dare tell him? I've wasted enough of your time with this drama. I really must stop talking about it lest I start crying and waste more of your time.
Oh, can we give her a hug?
What you have to know is the Insulindian phasmid probably does not exist. Let us fools chase our ghosts. There are a million better things to do with your life.
The hell with this, I still believe you.
A true believer. Sometimes I still see it too. The real memory of it, how it was there. Not the memory of the memory, but it's so hard to tell the two apart.
Rising, unfolding from the reeds on a hot summer's day, like a benevolent god.
Either way, I should go. Poor Morel is running a fever, and I need to get him home to Jamrock before we overstay our welcome with Gary.
I don't want to patronize her. I'll check the traps one more time.
Really?
Ah,
Oh, sweetie. Please don't get stuck on a dream. Take it from me and Morel.
give me your address. I'll send you news if I find anything.
Okay, it's 1113 Tabernacle Road, Jamrock, but
What?
A sigh. She doesn't think you'll need it.
Careful out there, Lena. It's been a pleasure, man. The rest of it is pretty grim. Thanks for bringing in some light.
you're welcome, sweetie. I'm glad it helped you, even though it turned out to be a...
She flicks a switch on her chair and the engine turns on with a whir. The sentence remains unfinished.
A dream. A fool's hope. Say her lips moving in silence. Like that, she drives off. The gas engine sputters quietly as she gets to the doors, then pushes them open. Outside, it's snowing.
We should go too.
Okay. Alright, guys. Let's go and talk to Everett. Yes, you might tell us where the gun is. Let's go talk to him. We need to talk to Measurehead again at some point, I have to admit. I'm going to have to keep checking that Clashy's not run off. Clashy. She's still there. She must be the third Cronell operative, man. She must be. She must be. I mean, who else could it be? It's going to be someone we've already met. So, yeah, I just can't think who else it would be. It's not good. Measurehead's working for the Union, so it's not him. Racist lorry driver. Tommy. Tommy does have tattoos. And he's been here the whole time, so it could be him. Very well could be. The pale driver, no. Racist lorry driver, probably not. Placence already owns the business here, so no. What was the... This was really hard, wasn't it?
You're back before the cargo container. Its draw has not lessened since you were last here.
So
If anything, it seems to have grown slightly.
So we have to hit a double 6 for 3%, right? We do have some rhetoric boosts, right? This shirt was rhetoric. I don't think we had anything else. Well, today's episode of Matt checks all the clothes again. No. It's only going to be a boost of 1. Alright, Everett. He's going to see through us, maybe. But our suggestion's quite high. Maybe we can weasel our way out of it. Maybe that we'll need savoir-faire, I'm not sure. Alright, big man, in the big chair.
Mr. Dubois, every worker, member of the
Yes,
board.
yes, I've mailed the
Golden Boy
signatures.
returns once more. Wonderful. Simply wonderful, Harry. Of
Oh, he's
course.
spying on me.
I already knew this.
Oh. Claps his hands together like a child who's just been offered cotton candy.
My friend, the mailman, confirms the letter is on its way. You've done a great thing today. You've given the children of Martinez a future and proven to be a true man of the left. I can finally trust you now.
Uh-oh.
You're in my inner circle. You too, Mr. Kitsuragi. We can talk about anything. The strike, the murder, your lost gun, nothing is off the table.
Really?
Oh, Bratan, you play the old man like a three-string banjo!
Better not to
sorry.
gloat, sire. 'Tis arrogance that gives the play away. Be subtle.
The signatures I got, I know you plan to force them out with the construction noise. Did you order the hangman killed?
Order it? You know my men didn't kill him. They told you. It was a happy accident. You know how it is. No one takes the initiative. If I wanted him dead, I would have had to do it myself. And I'm too fat for that.
Why are you so fat?
Glad you asked. I've got type 2 diabetes because sugar and fat was all my mother had to give me and my brother Edgar when we were kids.
Oh, so it's not your fault then?
Good job too, as it made me ugly. And ugly people, Harry, are much better at politics.
He wags his finger at you.
That is true. People don't trust pretty people.
What do you gain from him being dead?
Why, a war, of course.
And what do you have to gain from a war?
Victory, Mr. Kitsuragi. I have
Independence.
victory to gain. We are going to start a war with the Wild Pines group and win before they even realize there is a war.
They're trained military people. Aren't you afraid about the sacrifices that are going to happen here?
Harry, we outnumber them 1,500 to 1. And that's just Martinez. With all the unions in Revachol, and with public opinion on our side, we can hold off 2 men, or 15 men, or even 50 men. The more they send, the worse it's going to look for them. They made a huge mistake hiring those guys. No one likes foreign mercenaries. The leftists hate them, the fascists hate them, even the moralists think they're in bad taste.
No, I'm not going to say this. How is this connected to the strike?
Harry, there is no strike, only war. Class war. Or, in business terms, a dawn raid. Or wait. Is that when you still pay them something? Because we won't do that.
A class war.
We're not going to give nothing. We're going to take Terminal B away from them. The roads, the gates, the containers, that big crane, even the damn coffee maker. We're going to take all of it for the people, and fuck Wild Pines.
Technically, you just said you're going to give them something. I may have got confused by that double negative in the other episode, but when people say we're not going to give nothing, they mean we're not going to give anything. But in a legal sense, you just said you're going to give them everything.
The word fuck rings like a gunshot from his mouth. He doesn't swear often.
Yeah, it doesn't suit him.
So that's why you haven't let Joyce in?
Yes. It's also why I let that midget Gaumont go. He's too nice. I can't put him through this. Plus, he knows how to get in here. That woman can't tell her tits from her arsehole. She has no chance.
What?
Tits from her arsehole. It's a local saying.
Oh, Andy, I know what that means. I meant about Gaumont. Why are you telling me your plans? Because you know I'm going to tell them to Joyce.
Because we're friends, Harry.
No, we're not.
Besides, it doesn't matter now. You can go tell her if you want. It won't change the course of events. We have a significant head start. It's already happening.
Who killed the hangman? Ruby?
No idea. Could have been his own mother for all I know. If you ever find the guy, give him a big fat kiss from Everard Clare. Couldn't have done it without him.
He really doesn't know. A guy, huh?
No, I don't think he's using it in that sense.
I don't. I told you it could have been his own mother. I'm pretty sure it wasn't anyone from the Union. Maybe it was the mob. Or maybe he killed himself because he was a closet socialist. Truth is, I simply don't know.
He really doesn't.
I know you plan to force them out with the construction noise.
Harry, by now you should know I would never do anything tricky like that. However, if the construction noise and limited street access makes some people consider moving, well, let's just say there'll be freshly renovated buildings near the roundabout where those poor people can finally enjoy a significant uptick in quality of life. I'm talking real affordable workers' palaces.
Yeah, you sound just like the ultra-liberals do.
He proudly spreads his hands to demonstrate the size of the palaces. They're very large.
So the village is doomed.
The lieutenant says grimly.
You were there. You saw the place. A wasteland. There's nothing left. But mark my words, officers. We are going to reset it.
He slams his fist on the table, causing some of the coffee to spill. Well, at least offer them a new place to live while the place is being built, or something like that, you moron.
Reset. I have big plans for Martinez, and they do not include humans living in those pig sheds on the coast. That land will be used for municipal buildings and commerce.
What do you mean?
Harry, imagine a youth centre supermarket church complex, employing hundreds, no, thousands of people. The coast will be lit up with enterprise and life. All those ruins out there turned into low-income housing. Harry, enough is enough. We're taking this district back. The war was 50 years ago, for God's sake. It's time to move on.
Youth supermarket church complex. Do you really expect me to believe that?
Yes, I do. I got the centre, I got room for a retail complex, and in 4 years, I'll get the church too. The wheels are already turning, Harry. The wheels of progress. This post-war limbo, I won't stand for it. There are kids practically playing with their own feces out there. It cannot go on.
I mean, they are living in poverty, but like I said, he needs to offer them somewhere else in the interim, right?
There is true indignation in his voice when he speaks about the state of things, and even a touch of pain. But will there be giant statues of the Clare brothers towering above it all? Joyce knew he was up to something.
Wait, but will you erect a statue to yourself?
I'm not a symbolist, Harry. I'm a realist. My statue will be Martinez rebuilt. 5-story building complexes, workers on welfare, and landowners in Azon hating me. That will be my statue. And yours. We're doing this together.
You would look nice as a statue.
Joyce was right when she said you were up to something.
Damn right I am, Harry. I'm gonna make the working man as rich as she is one day. That's my job. Just like yours is to keep the peace.
Can I get my gun now?
Harry, I've got to be honest with you. Your gun was found 2 days ago. Withholding this information weighed heavily on me. But it had to be done.
Fine, I understand. Where is it?
An old woman has it, and let me tell you, Harry, word on the street is she's a character. So watch out.
A woman? Which woman?
This must be the woman who bought the gun from Roy. The one he described as terrifying.
What, Cindy? So the gun's still with the woman who bought it from Roy?
Yes, the same one. I see you've done your research. The pawn shop made the gun easy to track. Crazy stuff, Harry. Selling your gun like that? Wild. Anyway,
Union Boy's gonna help you fix it. He winks at you. Don't worry, Harry.
the neighbors of this old woman contacted my men because they trust me and the Debarders Union. Apparently, she was waving it around at the entrance to her building.
Oh, the landlady. Who is she?
Unfortunately, I don't know anymore. You're gonna have to go in blind, Harry. But she's an old lady. How dangerous can she possibly be? Oh, and she calls herself the Pigs.
There it is again. The pigs. Like Roy said, not good at all.
I, for one, find it refreshing. Finally, someone calls themselves a pig.
A smile flickers in the corner of his mouth.
It actually sounds extremely bad, but let's not give him the satisfaction.
Can you set up a meeting?
I already have. Tonight, starting 10 o'clock, near the old fish market on the coast. The one on the boardwalk, a little past the fishing village. Be careful, Harry. I would never set you up for anything dangerous, but you did ask for this. Now, back to the fun stuff.
She will be there from 2200 hours till 0200 hours.
More fun stuff. Seems like we already have fun stuff to do.
And how are you going to fund your new independent harbour from the business you're stealing from Wild Pines?
Oh, you mean what sort of goods are going to be flowing through? How am I going to replace all the contacts we'll lose once the poo-poo hits the fan? The clients will ditch us. Harry, we've thought of everything.
Everything.
We've been running back channel negotiations with all the major clients. I think the company will be unpleasantly surprised to see how many of them stay loyal to Martinez and to the new competitive contracts we can offer. With renewed zeal sparked by communal ownership, the men will be shipping those containers double time. You'll be surprised to see how fast things go without parasites latching on. We'll have our hands free to pursue bold, exotic new revenue streams.
I'm sure.
That's drugs.
Yep.
Drug trafficking.
Drug trafficking? Don't be stupid, Mr. Kitsuragi. There are perfectly legal, 100% ethical chemical factories on the Samaran Isola. You don't need to be colonialist about it. All they do is produce components to keep the pharmaceutical industry running. That's people's health we're talking about. Old grannies, little babes, people with disabilities.
That's just the tip of the iceberg, though, isn't it?
The company thinks transporting these chemicals in bulk looks bad, has bad optics, may be illegal in some countries. The Debarders Union, however, we're all about the large volume column. We're gonna transport the living daylights out of those materials, Harry. So your sick kid can get his benefit and your wacky uncle doesn't have to come off risperazole.
And the kids on the street can get speed and pyrrolidon.
I'm an old-fashioned guy, Mr. Kitsuragi. I sometimes grab a beer with the boys, but I have no idea about the things you just mentioned.
Oh, what a snake.
But if I were to supply ingredients for some sort of rainbow party, I would make sure the Union took a fantastic share. And I'd keep that stuff far away from Martinez.
Is Ruby helping you secure this fantastic share? Drugs are a no-go for me, I'll report this. I have to admit, that's a well put together plan, and far removed from you. Interesting stuff, I just want to solve this murder, okay? Makes sense to regulate the drug trade like this, keeps it out of more dangerous hands. Is Ruby helping you?
Harry, if I was supplying raw materials to drug manufacturers, I would need an army of rubies.
Understood.
The lieutenant nods slowly. Interesting. I just want to solve the murder.
You know why you're such a good detective, Harry? You don't get sidetracked. You care about the people you're supposed to protect, not some systems that may or may not be unethical. Anyway, let's not focus on the sensationalism of the drug trade. This hypothetical drug trade is all anyone ever seems to be interested in. It would only be a small part of the harbor's turnover, just like the harbor is, but a small part of Martinez.
Let's let him carry on.
Let's look at the big picture. Martinez as a whole. There are little girls out there with dreams of making music. Young mothers who want to start businesses. Models who want to walk catwalks and steel welders who want to weld steel.
This is a greater good speech. This is what this is. This is for the greater good speech.
I'm going to unite them all into one economic body. We're going to incorporate this place to Kingdom Come. Everyone's going to be in on the wealth, and everyone's going to pull their weight.
Let's keep focusing on the drug trade. He was almost admitting to it.
Hold on. I don't want to look at the big picture. I want to look at the drug trade you almost admitted to. Well, I mean, if it has the word incorporating in it, then I like it. I'm a money guy. It's very ambitious. I love what you're doing for the working man. I'm not feeling a whole lot of Revachol here. Not enough flags or kings, Revachol, for that answer, I guess. Honestly, this is not my place to judge or express an opinion. Yeah, you almost admitted to the drug trade. I nearly called him Harry. Everett.
No, Harry. That's boring. All right, it's gone. The hypothetical raw materials trade is off the table. It's such a small and insignificant slice of revenue, I'm cutting it. Boys, Harry felt queasy about it. We're not doing it. Can we talk about my beautiful incorporated Martinez and its many-sided business ventures now? This bold new vision of incorporated socialism I'm offering?
Honestly, I can't be bothered giving you an opinion, mate. You're just going to bounce it off me with your PR nonsense.
Harry, the length you're willing to go to keep your nose clean is remarkable. You will always have a warm bed in Mr. Clare's household, my friend, and a special place in the future of Martinez.
Can I ask you about specific union members?
We're way past specific union members now. This is the big time. We're talking about the future of Revachol here, Harry.
His eyes are shining.
You can bother Leonard with that. He loves to run his mouth on such matters. But I'm in big-time mode, Harry.
There's something different about him now. He's more vibrant, more alive in his big-time mode.
How many of you guys are there in the union?
2,372. Plus yours truly, of course.
Yeah.
2,373 is a sizable contingent for a labor organization in Revachol. And they're all well motivated. At least the ones you've seen.
See you later, Everett.
Great, Harry, great. I think we have truly built a bridge between Martinez and Jamrock today. We have united the RCM and the Debarders Union.
Suddenly, there's sadness in his tone.
This has been so great. I'm sorry we don't have more fun things to do together, but if you ever feel like bouncing something off me, my door is always open.
I'm gonna leave now, but we might talk again. Right, confront the pigs. Must be the old woman who was cleaning up the apartment, right? Oh, it could be Lillian, right? Yeah, Lillian will probably give up some information. No, we already asked Lillian about her, right? I think this quest is going to be cut off from now on, I believe. Man, we're getting so many boring cop answers. I feel like that's in the ice cream machine. And we've got a skill point. Or two. No, just one. I'm probably going to put this in composure, I think. Maybe rhetoric. Savoir-faire's only got one more point left anyway. Alright guys, I'm going to leave that episode there. Get away from his insipid typewriting. So, yeah. Spoke to Joyce on the other side. Spoke to the washwoman about Ruby. Ruby's character seems to be pretty clean if we're to believe Tommy, Titus, the boys, and the washerwoman. Clashy's the only one who has all of a sudden put a mark on her name, quite conveniently, obviously. So we'll leave it there. I hope you enjoyed this one. Just leave me a like on the video if you did, and just remember, everybody, never trust an uncrate. I'll see you back in Revachol.